Hi there. Welcome in. Yeah, I hope you don't mind. It's so hot outside. We have the AC on as high as it can go. Yeah, it's a little noisy in here, but it keeps us cool. It keeps the makeup from melting. This is the Tip Top palette shop we just opened. We do sell pre-made retail palettes, but what our specialty is custom palettes. So if you would like, we have various options we can go over as far as sizes, as far as shapes, repressing eyeshadows if you'd like, so that way they're all a uniform shape or pan size. We also have my little tablet here. We can take down your information and do a custom order. Now, if you'd like, yeah, do you have a second? Oh, great. I get so excited when people come in. We're still so new that whenever someone comes by, I just get so excited. So, I'd love to show you just some examples that we have of custom palettes that we've done, some size options we have on special right now, and then we can kind of, if you'd like, I could get a custom order for you. But yeah, let's just get started. I'll start with showing you some examples. Let me move some things around. This is actually a palette that we do use the colors in this quite often. It's a really colorful palette. As you can see, it's got a lot of fun shades in it. It really is lovely. Yeah, it's the Natasha Denona Circle Loco palette, and it is a customizable palette as well. So this is an option for you should you like this packaging, what have you. It's definitely something that you can use should you like to. But that's what we specialize in, is custom palettes, and then we use shades from either existing palettes or single shadows, things like that. So one of the custom palettes that we have that I really love is actually this one here. This is a compilation of shadows from Lethal Cosmetics. It is in just a regular Z palette that was originally from Ulta. We try to reuse as much as we can, so that way we're not, contributing to landfill waste or things like that. But it's a nice way for us to be able to kind of do our part to reuse things and make sure that, there's less waste. So we've got all these shades here. Let me see. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so this is one of our palettes from Lethal. This is really just a compilation of their single shadows. We've got some multi-chrome shades in here. We have just some regular mattes, some shimmers. This is a nice way to show off like a lot of the colors we have on offer kind of all at once. This is one of our larger palettes. Now, if you are in the market for a palette as like a gift, or if you're just kind of new to makeup, I don't necessarily recommend a large palette, just because sometimes the analysis paralysis can kick in, and it makes it a little tough to decide, what colors to use for a look. However, something like this is of course beautiful for anyone who likes makeup, but that's just kind of my 2 cents as someone who's helped a lot of folks kind of get started with makeup. That's my recommendation. We do also have the Z palette size in a smaller size. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than the other one. In fact, it almost fits in the same size as like the transparent piece. Almost. It's a little bigger. But as you can see, it's a little bit of a smaller size. And then this also does show off a couple more shades from Lethal Cosmetics. And then these are actually from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Have you heard of them? Yeah, they're actually an Australian independently owned brand, and their shades are phenomenal. Now, it is nice that we, of course, have some selections from them, being that shipping over here to the US is usually about 2 weeks. It's worth the wait, but we do have some in stock. We do also make use of old ColourPop palettes. This is the Ticket to Dreamland. This was a part of one of their holiday releases a couple years ago, and we were able to scoop them up fairly reasonably when they were kind of trying to move stock. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. I'll show you the inside. It does have a mirror, but this is a custom palette that we made using shadows from Copacetic Cosmetics. And they're another one that they're a small, independently owned brand, I believe out of Missouri. They have had some hardships as of late with shipping and turnaround times and things like that, but we do have a fairly decent stock on hand of unused shades of theirs that we could incorporate into a palette. These are actually all shades from them. One of my favorites is right here. It's called Excellence, and it really is just such a beautiful, beautiful multi-chrome. Yeah, and as you can see, they don't fit exactly, so you're not shoving them in, but they are right about the same size. So that way the palette will still shut normally. You don't have to worry too much about them being crammed in and breaking due to pressure, really anything like that. And then again, we have other ColourPop palettes as well. This is the Limoncello palette. And this one was a big hit. It was very, very popular when it first came out. And as you can see, it's another 12 pan palette. We only have a few shades in here. Sometimes we just build custom palettes for fun and then we sell them. It is something that we do on our various social media channels as well. Like sometimes we'll have like a TikTok or like an Instagram reel showing off like the palettes we've made, and then we have people like suggest other names for palettes. Like one of my favorites we've ever made was the Baja Last palette. Yeah, it was based off the Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I know, it's kind of silly, but we're here to have fun. It's makeup. It doesn't have to be that serious. So, and then we have some empty palettes. We have some empty palettes from Lethal Cosmetics. If I could show it to you, there we go. So I have some empty palettes from Lethal Cosmetics, and these do have a mirror in them, and then they are also 12 pan palettes. We do specialize in 12 pan palettes just because it's a nice round number, but we do also have the ability to do quads, so just 4 shades of course. We can do quints of certain shades, so we can do like a 5 pan palette, or sometimes like with Natasha Denona specifically, we could do a 5 pan. And then as far as that goes, we have 9 pans as well. This is one of my favorite little 9 pan palettes. It fits everything so nicely, and you don't have to worry about specific pan sizes or shapes. They just fit in really nicely in here. So we got that. Then this one's a little bigger. This is about, I'd say, a 15 pan palette, which is an interesting size. It's of course a little longer than the 12 pan, but not quite as deep. But it does fit about 15 eyeshadows depending on the pan size. Then here's a comparison. So here is the 9 pan on top of the 15 pan. And yeah, you can kind of see it's slightly bigger, of course, as you would expect it to be. So those are the empty pans that we have. And so, do you want to see some of the single shadows that we also have to work with? Yeah, I'd love to show you some other singles. We do also, let's see, let me grab a couple things from the back here. Yeah, let me just grab a couple things from the back and I'll be happy to help you. 1 second. Thank you for waiting. I'm back. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, okay, thank you so much for waiting. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy day, but I'm happy you're here. So, I did bring out a few more examples of palettes that we can use, of like various things we have to offer. One of them is we do actually have a palette from Copacetic Cosmetics. They have like a little cat-shaped palette. So it does have a mirror and the lid comes off completely. Yeah, it's definitely unique. And I believe it fits 17 of their shadows. So it's an interesting size, it's an interesting shape. It's really great for anyone who's like a cat lover, especially. You can do some really cute things with it. So that's one of our more unique custom palette options as far as like palette shapes. Then we also have another large palette option. This is from You Can Be, and this is their hallucination palette. Yeah, it's a cardboard palette. It doesn't have a mirror or anything like that, but it is very interesting in its size. It can hold large pans. These are actually face highlighters, so we can do highlighter palettes as well. And then just some regular kind of eyeshadows. But it's interesting that it's got these little notches. That way you can kind of slide things in and out if you don't have like a magnet tool. And it does have a magnet closure. So then we do also have a palette from Cleona. Have you ever heard of them? Yeah, they're a really popular brand for their multi-chromes. They do really good work with that. Yeah, I just love them. And then here's what we have on offer from them. Aren't those beautiful? Yeah. They are definitely more on the pricey side of things, simply because like multi-chromes do cost more money to make in general. So it's a little bit more costly, but definitely worth it if you're looking for like a really impactful shimmer. Maybe you want it to be like the focal point. Something like that. Yeah. So that's our Cleona palette. And this one's a little extra deep, which is also kind of nice. just depending on what you're looking for. It's great for traveling. It does also have a mirror. So now we do also have another kind of 9-pan palette. Now this one is very interesting in that it's very specifically sized, as you can see. So you really do have to have like the pans be exactly that size, but that's fine. Yeah. These are also shades from Copacetic Cosmetics. Yeah. Just some nice, beautiful shimmers. I did also bring out, let's see. I did also bring out a palette from Glaminatrix. We also have some shades from Divina. But let's go over the Rich Romantic palette. This palette is just gorgeous. Now these eyeshadows are on the smaller side. These are a smaller pan size, but they're still extremely beautiful. I absolutely love, love, love all these shades. They're just so beautiful. Yeah, I really love it. And these are of course magnetic, so they do come out. Yeah, they would be a little small in the last 9-pan that I showed you, but they would fit. Yeah, I mean, smaller is definitely gonna fit in there, but you know, if you try to go too big, it won't fit. We do also have some shades from Divina Cosmetics, specifically from their Fantasia palette. It's got a beautiful unicorn on it. These are the shades that we have. You can buy this palette as a whole, or you can buy the singles on their own. I really love this shade. It's one of my very favorites. It's a beautiful, beautiful like green pink shift. I really just love it. It's wonderful. We've got that. Then also we have our shades from Copacetic, and then we do have one in here from Menagerie Cosmetics. That's this one here. It's called Arc. It's a multi-chrome. This is our more like cool tones, kind of blues. Yeah. We do have neutral shades, but we do try to specialize in colorful shades, things like that. We do also have some branded ColourPop, like intellectual property, I guess you'd say, palettes. So like this one is the Dreams Come True Snow White palette. This one's actually really popular for the inside. People really love this one around the fall. Yeah, it's got like these little cute little mushrooms and flowers and stuff like that. And we do also sell empty palettes as well. So if you see something that if you do see like a palette that you want just for yourself or to give as a gift for someone, that is something we offer. We do also sell single shadows as well. We have some from Copacetic, we have some from Sydney Grace, and we do have some from Divina. We've got a whole catalog of them if you are interested. But yeah, we do sell just single shadows as well. So if you feel like there's something, you know, just kind of missing from what you have, that is something that we have to offer. So I've shown you a lot of examples of what we have to offer. Yeah, did you have like any questions? Okay. Yeah, we keep a list of all of the brands that we use, and then we also have a list of whether the brands are vegan. We do try to stick with brands that are cruelty-free. We do try to make sure that we have everything labeled according to what the brand lets people know. So if the brand says that they're vegan or cruelty-free, we do our best to trust that, but we do also verify. We do also keep a list of brands that we don't stock for various reasons. Like there are some brands that we just can't get a hold of their eyeshadows for a decent price, so we don't stock those. But yeah, do you want to do your own custom palette? Okay. Yeah, if you want, we can go sit down and I will pull out my tablet and we will get your questions going. Yeah, let's grab some water and we'll have a seat.